Hey, great day. So, in today's lesson, we will be talking about motivational interviewing and how you can change the way that you talk as it relates to a behavior or something in your life or career or business that you want to change. Okay. And so, I want you to start thinking about now, and I would highly encourage you to grab a pen and a sheet of paper to take notes. But how can you start using change talk? I really want you to do some type of reflection of looking at this last week or maybe the last couple of weeks or month. When you look at an area of your life that you want to enhance, that you want to improve, really sit down and ask yourself, have I been my own hype man or hype woman? Do I get excited about wanting to embrace change in that area? Or do you feel more sad and you really do not want to work on that area in your life? So, we're going to introduce a theory called motivational interviewing. So, this theory was developed by two individuals, Prochaska and De Clemente, and they proposed readiness for change as an indicator of your behavioral change. So, what we're really going to be talking about is how you can take one area that you want to enhance, and then you're going to identify your level of readiness to then change that area. So, I'm going to walk you through a cycle, and then I'm going to give you, of course, a breakdown of regular terminology that we may see all the time while we talk to other people about areas that they want to change, but also, of course, how we can look within and look at how we want to get better. So, anytime someone presents that, okay, I want to work on X, let's just say their health. Let's just say someone wants to have more energy. They want to have clear skin, which means they want to feel hydrated. Then, based on that statement, I am then going to go through some stages according to motivational interviewing, what's called the trans theoretical model stages of change. So, the first stage of change is called pre contemplation. So, if someone says, I want to have more energy, I'm going to say, okay, do you believe that you are in denial that you have an energy problem? And that person is going to say, well, no, because I'm bringing it to your attention. But let's just say if someone else was talking about a family member and they said their energy needs to increase, and that other person may say, my energy is fine, then they would fall in the pre contemplation phase because they are in denial. They're saying, no, there is not a problem. Now, even though I gave the example of a personal area, you can clearly apply this to career or business. You may be stuck in your business and you may want to grow revenue, clientele, customers, and things like that. However, you may say there's nothing wrong with my business, and maybe you are practicing doing the same thing over and over, generating the same results. So now we go to the next phase. The next phase or stage is called contemplation. So another word for that is, well, maybe I have a problem in that area, or you are a person that is straddling the fence. You are very aware that an issue is there. You want to get better. However, you maybe keep changing your mind. So you may be all in today, maybe based on who you're talking to, what information you hear. You're listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube video. But then a couple of hours later, you're back to normal saying, I don't know if I want to put in the work to actually make a change. So now we go into stage 3. Stage 3 is known as preparation. And so this is where the work actually begins. Okay. This is where you decide, I want to make a change. How can I prepare and plan to do that? So this is where people will go and seek out the therapist, the life coach, the business coach, the mentor, the mastermind, an online course, a book, whatever the case may be of what can help them get to that next level. They are willing to bet and go all in on themselves. And now they're preparing to make a change. Another word that comes to mind is you're determined to then go into the stages of change so that you can enhance this particular area in your life or business or career. Now, the next stage is called action. When you think about action, it is literally what it sounds like. You are putting in the work. So let's use the health and the business example. For health, it would be, okay, I'm not drinking more than 2 8-ounce glasses of water per day. So I'm going to maybe talk to a nutritionist or a doctor, but I know I at least need to drink 8 glasses at minimum. So I'm going to, maybe I call it taper up, and maybe you go from 2 glasses to 4 glasses. Then 4 glasses to 6 glasses. I mean, if you can chug all 8 down, that's great. But some people may get a little stuck because they can't transform a behavior in 24 hours. So I would just caution you, make sure that when you are creating a plan, that it is realistic to your circumstance, okay? But action is you are doing the thing to start seeing change show up. And then we have maintenance. Maintenance is the fifth stage. And maintenance is you are literally maintaining, you are going, you are, let's just say, increasing the water intake. Now let's go over to business. Business would be for maintenance. In the action phase, you sought out a mentor to help you grow your email list or your client base, right? So maintenance would be you're logging into the online course portal and you're doing the work. If you have access to the mentor or a community or the coach, you are showing up and asking questions. You are doing the workbook. You are applying what you have learned, let's just say on a call or in a course portal or in a book, and you're actually having it show up in your business that week, not you're going to wait until the whole course is over. You are implementing it as you go. Now, one last stage that is definitely neglected in terms of us talking about change is relapse. Now, relapse is obviously you start over. That's what most people think, right? So I'm going to go back to health. Let's just say you made the plan to get your health in order, but you weren't looking at the calendar and you decided to do this a week before Thanksgiving. And let's just say your goal was to increase water intake and also decrease fried food, but you know how your family gets down around Thanksgiving. So you have a choice clearly. You can drink a lot of water, you can make better choices. But what tends to happen, because maybe it's not a habit yet, you may then eat whatever you're going to eat on Thanksgiving. Well, the thing is, mentally, somebody may give up and say, oh my gosh, I had a failed day. Some people may not even see it as a cheat day. And they may just say, I have to start over, therefore I don't want to start. Versus the person who relapses and says, am I in pre-contemplation? Well, no, I'm not in denial. I still want to get healthier. Am I in contemplation? Well, that's a maybe. Can you get committed again? And your answer may be yes. So then I may go into preparation. Are you determined to pick up where you left off and just maybe now look intentionally at your calendar and maybe make a plan when you know you're going out to eat? You make a plan when you know that you're going over somebody else's house to eat. Maybe ask them what's on the menu. If you're going out to eat with your partner or your family, look at where you are going and maybe figure out your food choices before you get there, right? So relapse is inevitable. And the biggest thing is, can you be resilient, get back up, and then determine what stage of change you are in? So in terms of strategy, let's talk about taking these stages and then moving another step to enhancing a behavior or changing a behavior. And so one of the strategies I want to share with you is before you start changing the way that you see and talk about, let's just say the problematic area, you first want to assess your ability to create goals that you can actually accomplish. Now, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big, but you do want to make sure that you are bought into the process, because it's going to be a process to change anything that has become a habit. So one thing that you can do, and these are more journal prompts that you can do later, is write down everything you've accomplished in the last 12 months. This is really important. This is actually an activity that I share with my community that they should technically do every day, because sometimes you may go throughout your day not completing your to-do list per se, and then all of a sudden, because you didn't get one thing done or 10 things done, you feel like the day was wasteful. And it wasn't, because you accomplished something, but sometimes you're moving so swiftly and quickly throughout your day that you don't give yourself credit. So I want you to take this seriously. Write down everything you have accomplished in the last 12 months. Pull out your phone, pull out a timer, maybe put it on 15 minutes, put on some cool music, ideally with no words, and just let the winds flow. And this can be in your business and or in your career. The next area that I want you to do, so this may take up to an hour, is I want you to write down everything you've accomplished in the last 12 months within your personal life. We're going to do two separate lists. Okay. So this is about your personal life. Now, once you list out those two areas of the last 12 months and the wins that you've experienced, I want you to review what you wrote down and ask yourself, do you give yourself enough credit? Odds are the answer will probably be no. Okay. So next, I want you to write down, what do you want to now accomplish in the next 12 months in your business and in your personal life? That can be still to list, but I want you to take some time and I want you to think about, with no limitations. I don't want you to think about money. I don't want you to think about scheduling. I just want you to dream big. What do you want to accomplish in your business, career slash job, and or personal life in the next 12 months? In order for you to accomplish things that you want, you have to have a vision and make it and write it down in plain words. Okay. So after you've written down your goals, let's just say if you have 10, okay, I want you to rank your goals. And I want you to start with the number one, meaning it's your highest priority, meaning you're also very excited to work on it. And we're going to structure this for a reason, because we want to set you up for success. So I want you to look at your personal list and your business slash career list. And I want, like, if you have 10 things, I want you to rank them in order. Which one am I most excited about? That should be a 1. The one that I'm least excited about, even though I want to change it, or maybe it takes a lot of work, therefore I'm not that excited right now, would be a 10. Okay. Now, I also want you to look at that same list and I want you to put some type of star or mark next to any item on that list that just landed there simply because it was an unfinished project. So I'll give you an example. Some of my business clients, they want to write a book. But the thing is, they have had the book on their list for the last 2 to 3 years. They've started writing the book 2 to 3 years ago. So now if we were to have an in-depth conversation, what I may find out is that they're only writing the book because they don't want to quit on themselves. But here's the thing. If you start committing to something in this current year, you're going to drain out all of your energy where it should be focused on things that light you up. And now we have a problem because this one thing that you really don't want to do, that you're just finishing it because you started it and you don't want to leave yourself hanging. You're actually leaving other areas in your life hanging because you have no energy to put over there. Okay. So I do want you to identify, are there any things on your list from the business to the personal side that are simply on there because they were on there last year? Now, I want you to ask yourself, for each item that is there by default, do you really, really want to work on this? Does it light you up when you see it? Yes or no? Also, for each star, what is stopping you from eliminating the project? So elimination means I'm no longer in this season or chapter in my life. I don't even want to write about that topic in this book anymore. I don't even want to work in this business anymore. I have a whole nother stream of income. Okay. So again, are you battling with you telling yourself that I am a failure, I did not finish a project? Or are you telling yourself that I'm going to give myself grace and permission because I'm no longer in this season anymore? You really want to look at the words that you're telling yourself. Okay. So ask yourself this. What would your next 12 months look like if you continue to work on goals that you were no longer aligned and excited about anymore? Take a moment and sit on that. Literally sit down, maybe this evening, or depending on what time you are tuning into this message. And I want you to take a look at all the things that are on your list by default. You're not lit up about them. You don't like them. And ask yourself, what's going to happen over the next year if they stay on your list? Also ask yourself, what would your 12 months look like if you only focused on the goals or things on your list that actually excited you? And I want you to be able to see the difference. So my biggest thing for you is get to work. I'm all about taking fast action. And so how we're going to recap is, when you think about your goals, you want to think about, can I eliminate something that no longer lights me up? When you think about your goals, you want to think about it in terms of the next year. What would your life look like? What would your business look like if you only worked on things, projects, and goals that grew you, expanded you, specifically in the areas of mindset, career, business, and relationships? Okay. So, what's next? This was part one. In part two, we're now going to identify and zero in on some additional techniques of how you can select one area, one behavior that you want to change. Okay. So I thank you so much for tuning in today. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until the next one, bye.